Dear Mandy, that's my owner. Be back in a few weeks. Went on vacation. Your regal beagle, Sherlock. That's me. Time to get going. Gee, I'm hungry already. I must be over halfway to my first stop. These mountains make me sleepy. I think I'll take a nap.
Sherlock! Here, boy! Sherlock! Where could he be? Sherlock, where are you? He never wanders off. What if he's lost?
Maybe I ought to give Mandy a call so she doesn't worry. I'm hungry. Where's a guy to get something to eat around here? I hope I don't have to walk all the way across that bridge just to get something to eat. I better get moving. Hurry up with the chili dog, Mac. I've got a boat to catch. I feel like I was on that boat for days. I was on that boat for days, and the food was lousy. Let's see what I can find here.
It's been 5 days. Sherlock's never done this. He's either lost or stolen. Nah, nobody would steal him. It would cost too much to feed him. I need some help. Can you students help me track down Sherlock? If we organize ourselves and follow his tracks, we'll find him in no time. We'll call ourselves the S.O.S. Trackers. Code name is Operation Dog Tracks. We'll find him, either that or he'll come home when he's hungry enough. Sherlock, if you can hear me, phone home.
I don't think there is a phone in there. I never liked camping much anyway. I'm a couch potato at heart. Speaking of potatoes, I wonder what they eat in this part of the world.
Boiled mutton is a mainstay of our people. I hope you like mutton, Sherlock.
Gee, I think I'll stay for dinner, but then I've got a train to catch. Those roasted sweet potatoes hit the spot. I wonder what they do with this great big wall. That is a lot of trouble to go through to keep dogs out. Oh boy, time to go. I don't want to miss my plane. They didn't have any phones on that wall. Mandy probably got my note. Not to worry.
Still no sign of Sherlock. Groups from around the state, their members known as S.O.S trackers, have sprung into action for the missing canine. They say Operation Dog Tracks has turned up several clues, but the whereabouts of Sherlock is still someone's secret. Mandy, the dog's owner, says the S.O.S trackers will find him. Either that, or he'll come home when he gets hungry enough. Coming up next, sports and weather.
Those mountains look bigger than the ones we drove by in the States. I wonder which ones they are.
This is your captain speaking. We are cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet. If you look out the right side of the plane, you'll see the Plateau of Tibet, the largest plateau in the world. It won't be long until we cross the Tropic of Cancer.
When's lunch?
That will be 5 rupees, please. 5 rupees, please.
I guess he wants me to lick him 5 times. 1 rupee? 2 rupees?
I know I like you too, Beagle Boy, but the food you ordered is 5 rupees, please.
I am getting nowhere with this guy. I know I am north of the equator and south of the Tropic of Cancer. Other than that, I'm not sure where I am. I need to get off of this island. My cousin probably thinks I am lost. I'll hop the next plane out of here.
Sherlock, so nice of you to stop by on your journey to your cousin's house.
Nice to see you, too. What's for lunch?
Do you have time to join us for a traditional African meal?
There is nothing like good old tradition.
I hope you enjoyed the stew, Sherlock.
I am so stuffed, I could sleep for days and not get hungry.
This next message is for all of Sherlock's pals. Here's Mandy.
Thank you. All S.O.S trackers take note that Sherlock's dog tracks were found on a flight over the Tropic of Cancer. He landed somewhere in India. If any of you have any more information, contact Operation Dog Tracks. I'll be in touch.
Now that is one lost dog. Let's take a look at the AccuWeather forecast. Partly sunny skies above us today, about a 20% chance.
This heat is going to kill me. She doesn't seem to mind the heat. Oh, this is worse than the dog days of summer. I hope my cousin's house has air conditioning.
Sherlock.
Cousin, you look cool for such a hot day.
Oh, I'm used to it.
It sure looks dull here.
Oh, it's the dullest place on earth. Come, you must be hungry.
You can actually grow food here?
We manage.
You don't have to ask me twice. Let's go. Besides, I need to call Mandy. You got a phone?
Welcome to The Secrets of Sherlock. As you have seen, this series is a little different from the series you expect from instructional television. And I'm here to explain some of those differences and to give you some insight of how to use these programs in your classroom. The first thing I'd like you to know is that these programs were designed based on research of the learning theories. We believe that student-centered learning is the best way to go, and the activities that are here are designed toward the student and not toward teaching. The programs that you're going to see are going to be primarily motivational, not informational, the way most traditional instructional television goes. And our activities are going to focus on the process and not content. In other words, we're going to help your students learn how to learn information and not how to memorize the content, how to memorize that information.
I learned that there's a lot of cities and countries in the world, and like you had to use a globe and a map, and you had to do longitude and latitude.
I feel like the hands-on approach to Secrets of Sherlock gave me a sense that they're really learning because they want to learn, and they're going to remember it for a longer period of time because of the activity involved as they were learning.
Successful use of this series depends heavily on the teacher's guide. So if you've watched the program today without a teacher's guide, you'll need to contact your local agency right away and get the teacher's guide, because all the activities that your students will need to do are described in that guide. Along with each program, we have included a journal activity. That's an accepted use of whole language, but we believe with a constructionist view of education that when students take information that they have, they put it together and organize it in their own way and express it to others, that they learn better.
We worked in a group, and working in a group was fun too. I liked arranging the doghouse, and my favorite part was the postcard.
Why?
Clue number 8, because it was hard and you experienced a lot. You and Mr. Jeffrey said instead of just standing up there and teaching us, that it'd be more fun to do it in another way like this.
The curriculum area of focus for travel tracks is social studies. Your students will engage in problem solving, map and research skills, and communication skills. The objectives for this program are listed in the teacher's guide and are based on standards that have been nationally accepted. We have a few words of suggestion for this program. The first one is preparing the puzzles takes a little bit of time. The second is it took longer than we expected for the students to be able to solve the puzzles. So our teachers who went through the program already suggested that you may give the students one puzzle a day and spread it out a little bit. We also would like you to know that the answers are not in the teacher's guide. We were hoping that teachers would work through the puzzles with the students and experience their successes and failures with them. We recognize that the puzzles are difficult, but we encourage you to allow your students to go ahead and continue. If they make mistakes, they'll discover it in the last puzzle, which gives all the correct cities, and they'll be able to find out the correct answer anyway.
The first thing we did was we got out a large sheet of chart paper and we wrote down what their guesses were so that we could use that later on, and we had that up in the room. So when we would solve a clue, say clue number 3, and we found a city maybe in China, then the kids would go back to their notes and they would say, well, this must have been when we saw this on the tape. So they were pretty organized that way.
The city I visited is in China.
I don't think there is a phone in there.
You're asking students to bring together, to integrate a number of different activities and knowledges and to bring them together in creative ways and to solve a problem. And that is indeed what the message about 4th grade proficiency test is all about.
Another word of warning, if your atlas only has Ceylon and doesn't identify Sri Lanka, your students are going to have a bit of difficulty of coming up with that country. It's also been suggested by our teachers that it will be easier for your students if you prepare a transparency of the puzzle and work through it to show them how to solve the puzzle. We also have suggestions that there are a number of computer atlas programs that will help to enhance your students' enjoyment of the world and the areas that they'll be experiencing. So please, enjoy the program.
They've been very motivated because of what Sherlock is. Your presentation was really neat. You know, and just all the news flashes, they got really, they feel like they're doing something with a purpose.
We used our inch rulers to find Sherlock, and every inch stood for 50 miles.
It was fun trying to find out where Sherlock was, and it was kind of hard, the Morse code, because it was kind of confusing.
Bye.